Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is you happen to tune in for another episode of It's Naturally Nat. It's another lovely day out today. It's crisp, it's cool, it's cold, but there's no wind and the sun is out. And I love days like that when it's cold. But even though it's cold, I still love salads, and I love a good salad, and that's what we're going to make today, a Greek salad. In fact, we're going to make some salads, quite a few salads this winter, because I love salads, and if it were up to me, and if I'm only cooking for me, a lot of the times, all I have for dinner is a salad, some form of a salad, sometimes with protein. As I get older, sometimes I don't even want protein. I know that's a no-no, and that women need all the protein they get, but salads just always sound good, okay? Now I think, quite a while back, maybe 2 years ago, I showed you how, I'll have to double check my show notes, I showed you how to do a 7-layer salad, and that's probably one of my top 5 favorite salads. But growing up, Mom used to make that, but she never made Greek salad. And I'm not sure why Greek food wasn't big in the Quad Cities where I grew up. Well, it was big. But for whatever reason, we didn't make Greek salads. We didn't make Greek food. But Greek salads are wonderful. And I used to make them a couple years ago all the time with one of my friends who has now passed on. And I did a little research on them, like what constitutes making a Greek salad, what doesn't. And I learned some things. Okay, I learned, for example, that a lot of time a Greek salad doesn't even have romaine in it. Now, I didn't know that. That primarily the traditional Greek salad is mainly with the tomatoes and the cucumbers being the star of the show, but I didn't know that. My version, though, that I like to make does have some romaine in it. It's just sometimes it has a lot of romaine in it, and then sometimes it doesn't. But today's is going to have some in it, okay? It can be the star of your show for a dinner with a grilled piece of chicken, or a grilled piece of salmon, or a grilled piece of tofu, or it can just be something that you eat as itself, or as a simple side dish with no protein to accompany something fatty, like a ribeye or a prime rib with a Greek salad, I think would be good, because the brightness of that Greek salad along with the fattiness of the meat is wonderful, a wonderful combination. So we're going to do a little romaine salad. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll have a recipe for you in the show notes. It's probably a feeds 4 type of one, because that maybe suits most people. But sometimes I make a feeds 4 one and just eat it for a few days. And when that's the case, I use something like this, which is a good size. This is what you'll recognize before what Daniel McDaniel got me for Christmas last year. But I think today I'm just going to make a feeds 1, because this is for later on today when I get home from running some errands. And I'm just going to want a one and done Greek salad. And lately I've been doing that in, not a plate, don't laugh, but in a pie plate. But here's why. I love the elegance of eating a salad on a plate. But is this just me being a hog, or do you find that it's easy to have this stuff fly off your plate when you're sitting at the table? It is for me. And so I probably need to get a prettier pie plate when I'm eating a salad out of a pie plate, but I've been doing this lately. I don't know why, it just works for me, right? Then it doesn't scoot off onto my nice antique table and leave a stain somewhere that I don't see until later. So I'm going to make it in this pie plate. Let's get started. What we're going to need for ingredients are grape tomatoes. Now, I don't care if you're watching this and it's the dead of winter. It is winter. Grape tomatoes, my mom and I were talking about this the other day, they make the cut. They're the one tomato I think that tastes good from the grocery store all year round. So don't be like, tomatoes, it's cold out, you're going to have horrible taste. These will work just fine. These, in fact, are grape tomatoes. You're going to need, I'm going to teach you how to make a real simple salad dressing. You're going to need some red wine vinegar. Always have lots of vinegars in your arsenal. I know I have several videos up on this channel about different infused vinegars that I like to make. You're going to need a good oil, like Ina says. So I'm busting out my Tuscan herb oil, which is kind of expensive, but it is the bomb as a finishing oil and a salad dressing oil. You want something good for this salad dressing. I think Ree Drummond does this, but I've done this for years. Make your salad dressing in whatever glass jar you've recycled. I don't know what was in this. Probably olives. I'm going to make it in this one. This is some leftover of the very same dressing, but I'm going to make some more because I eat a lot. This salad dressing is just very simple but very good. You're going to need some Dijon, no name is fine. You're going to need a garlic clove. You're going to need, you're going to need basil or Italian seasoning. I think I'm out of basil right now, but I'm going to use Italian seasoning and more, or oregano, dried, for sprinkling over the top. You're going to need a head of romaine. And we're not traditional here. If you got some peppers that you need using up and you don't feel like putting them in a casserole, like I showed you a few weeks ago, throw those in here. Why not? There's no rules. A medical professional once told me the healthiest thing to eat is colors of the rainbow, meaning what I've got right here. All these colors are healthy for you. And then I've got, for my own preference, I got some romaine here. Some fresh organic romaine. Now, you want to make sure, and cucumbers, you're going to want that. And then you're going to want some cheese. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And you're going to want some, preferably red onion, although you could use white or yellow. Okay? Up until recently, I've been using the type of feta that comes like this. That is a no-go. I don't know where I got that bad habit. You might be asking me, why is it a bad habit to get the cheese in the little plastic thing? It's really powdery. It's really not that good. And so the other day at the grocery store, block feta cheese was for a reasonable price. And I was like, oh, is it going to make that much of a difference? I'll buy it and see. Let me tell you, I've been making Greek salads wrong for years. This is so much better. And I live in a food desert. So I can't even imagine if you were in New York City and you got some really, really good feta. That would probably blow my mind. But this is a pretty good brand. It should be available at most places, even in a food desert. For some reason, I don't know. I was late to the party and I never knew what a big difference this is. It crumbles, but in blocks, and this particular brand doesn't even crumble. There's no powderiness to this at all. But buy the good stuff. Buy the kind that comes in a block. It is a game changer. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is rinse off all your vegetables. And I'm going to tell you about a great trick. If you don't have one of those vegetable rinser things that you push on, those things are great. I used to have one when I was in college. But I got rid of it because after several moves, those things are bulky and hard to move around and take up a lot of space. And somebody somewhere, I don't even know who taught me this trick. Maybe it was my sister. When you get your romaine, or maybe like your romaine and you want to wash it and you're rinsing the leaves out and you're like, gee, I want to eat it right away, but it's kind of wet now that I rinsed it out. And I don't have salad spinner, that's what they were called. I don't have a salad spinner. What's a quick way to do this? You're going to love this. Rinse this out. I've already done this, so I'm not going to show you. Get an old kitchen towel. This one's stained, but it's clean, trust me. Wrap it in your romaine into the kitchen towel. Hold all four corners like this. Pretend my romaine's in here. Then go outside, I kid you not, and go just like this. Only, you can be I go like this with the romaine in it. And what you'll see is all the water droplets go flying. I think I saw Ina do this trick actually in her kitchen, but I thought, why are you doing that in the kitchen? You got water droplets everywhere. Maybe that's where I saw that. But my sister also does this trick too instead of the salad spinner. So I go outside and do it. I've already done it for this romaine, but you'd be surprised how much water goes flying all out of the romaine, and you end up with fairly dry romaine. Okay? Fun trick. So I've already done that. I'm going to, I don't know if you guys do this, but I always use a mix of the bottom and the top in my salads because the top is generally not very crunchy. You know what I mean? By the top, I mean this part usually isn't the crunchiest part, which isn't my favorite. So I save these from another head and I put both in. So let's go ahead and pull out a couple black ones when you find them. This is fairly new. I got this the other day, so it's in pretty good shape, despite the fact that we're not in summer right now. This is in pretty good shape. So I put my not so crunchies in my vessel, my pie plate. Don't laugh at me because I'm a slob, I guess. About like this. Okay? I might be really hungry later, so I might add a little more lettuce to that. Here's the crunchier part. I think that's about the level of hungry I'm going to be later. Okay? Now, you want to take your grapes, and I didn't already do this, sorry. And I like grapes, your tomatoes, grape tomatoes, sorry. Give them a quick rinse. I haven't, but I will right now. And then quarter them and put them on top. This is the type of salad that I think does absolutely well make ahead and put in the refrigerator. So you could, for a party, make ahead and put this in the refrigerator. Just don't put the marinade on, okay? You can, or excuse me, marinade, the salad dressing. Just don't put the salad dressing on until you come home from your errands or whatnot and get ready to eat, okay? Now, I do my cucumbers a little different, or I don't know if everybody does this. You let me know. I peel with the vegetable peeler most of the skin off because I'm just not a fan of it, and it's hard to get that waxy stuff off. So I wash them and then I peel them like this, then I cut them in half, and I dig out the seeds, right? Because I buy just the plain cucumbers from the store that have a lot of the seeds. I don't buy the English cucumbers because they're, in my store anyway, they're quite a bit more expensive. So I scrape out the seeds, and then here you can just cut them into little moons like this, but you get more out of them if you cut them again, like I did down the side, lengthwise. So they're like half of a half moon, if you will. Like this. Oh, it smells so good. Even though these are out of season, they still smell good. Cucumbers do well. They are a great little vegetable, I think. They just do well all year round. Okay? So those go in next. And you know what I forgot to grab? I forgot to grab my kalamata. Is that even in this kitchen or in the other kitchen? I can't remember. Well, anyway, we'll get there in a minute. Grab the red onion next. And you just do this by eye. So much about salads is about pretty. You eat first with your eyes. I think that looks pretty. So it's not about measurements, though. If you want me to leave measurements down below, I will. And then you can either make these half moons or quarter moons. So I've already cleaned this because I already had Greek salad earlier last week. I think I'm going to cut these into half of moons. So not this, but halved again. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a real oniony person, right? I mean, I've been known to eat raw onions just for fun. I don't know, are you guys that way? Let me know in the comments if you really like onions as much as I do. There's no such thing as too much cheese or too much onions. Okay? So I put in about this much. Okay? We'll want to do the feta next. Now, the kalamata, you can buy the kind that need to be pitted, but why? I wouldn't want that on a salad. I bought, and I was able to find them in my crappy grocery store, the pitted kind. And I'm going to look in the refrigerator for a minute, but I want to show you just how wonderful this cheese is when you buy it by the block. Now, it doesn't just literally crumble, you know, like blue cheese does. If you don't have one of these plastic cheese knives, these are awesome. It doesn't crumble. I don't know if mine is really fresh or how you would word that, but it does break in half into chunks. And it's great. I would never have thought this. It's great for snacking. I'm going to always buy that brand. I like that brand. However much you want, measure with your heart. I really like feta, and you can put it on early if you're eating the salad later like I am. So some of you would probably be like, oh, that's enough for me. Not me. We're going to put a little bit more on for me. And it's not crumbling, which I don't know why I had that in my head. I guess because when you buy it, it's so crumbly and powdery and nasty in those little plastic containers. That's probably enough for me. Okay? Then, I take a little Italian seasonings, or you could use dry basil or, again, dry oregano. I'm just going to hit up a little bit, like this, over the top, just a little. I mean, this is a pinch in between my fingers, rubbing it so the oils are a little bit revitalized. And let me see if I have my kalamatas that I just bought the other day, or if I put them. Oh, cool, they're right here. This brand is called Pearls, and they are sliced, and they are oh so good. Grab a spoon. By the way, as tempting as it is to stick your fingers in an olive jar, you don't want to do that because the bacteria from your fingers can mess with the brine. If you didn't know that, now you know. Put however many you want on. I'm putting 2 pretty good sized. What else could you could probably put some sun-dried tomato on here if you like. Why not? The only rules are that it's delicious. That's my salad. Marinated chicken thrown on the grill. It's cut into strips and topped on this. I mean, really. Can you imagine bringing this to the office during lunch? People watching you eat that would probably hate you. They'll want to bite so bad. So this is basically done. I'm going to put plastic on him and put him in the fridge. Again, you could make this in this size bowl for your family, or if there's just 3 of you, or if you want salad for all week long and it's just you. Dressing, you know what? You could go down that rabbit hole for hours when it comes to dressing. And I used to be a little hesitant when it came to vinegar and oil dressings. I don't know why. I used to make them at the bistro in mass by gallon all the time. And you just go through weird slumps, right? And so for a while I was using, what brand was it? I think it was Newman's Own, and it was pretty good. But my sister was like, why? You know how to do that. I guess you just go through slumps. And she was right, so I got out of my slump, and it's so easy to make any kind of vinaigrette. And the one that we're going to make today with the red wine vinegar is easy. Now, with vinaigrettes that I've seen through the years in recipes, I've seen where the acid, whether it be some sort of vinegar or whether it be, say, lemons, where the acid content is way lower than the oil content. I don't like those. They're just more oily to me, but I think this is a thing where it's just based on your own taste. Do you want it 50-50? Do you want this 70% oil, 30% vinegar? And I've come to realize that I like about anywhere between 50-50 to 60-40, right? That's kind of how I like it. And I go by percentages because it's based on you. What do you like? Do you like more tart? Or do you like more olive oil? There's no wrong, right? So I'm going to, and man, I wish I could tell you where to get these. These are so awesome. I use this constantly instead of a measuring cup, as you can tell, because it's been dropped about 10,000 times and put next to the stove. So I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons into my little jar. Okay, I don't know. We'll just see how I feel all of a sudden, whether I go 50-50 or 60-40 or who knows, right? So there's 3. Ooh, that smells good. Now I'm gonna go. What do I feel? I feel like a mad scientist here. Is it gonna be 50-50? Is it gonna be 60-40? What is it gonna be? Ooh. Almost 50-50. That's just what I felt like. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Now we need the Dijon mustard. And you're going to give a couple squirts, right? Again, I'll put down the show notes a pretty black and white version, but you don't feel restricted to that. I'm going to put about that much in there. I'm going to also put in about that much, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon of this mixed Italian seasoning. On a Greek salad, yeah, I know, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's no rules. Now at this point you could put a little onion powder, you could put some garlic powder, and I might, we'll see. But you have to have the this clove of garlic that I've already cleaned and snipped the ends. And there's no shame in using a garlic press, just use a good one. And this is a real good one. I got this present from an old beau many years ago. Okay. And the mood's hitting me, so I'm going to put a little bit of onion powder in. Zug, 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 zug. The mood's hitting me, I'm going to put a little garlic powder. Zug, zug. And do I want fresh ground or do I want just plain old? Yeah, we'll do plain old. A little bit of pepper. So I'm going to put fresh ground pepper on the salad when it's all done and I eat it later on this evening. And now, you're just letting the mustard help emulsify. Now here's the crazy thing about making any vinaigrette. Use your nose. Your nose will tell you what to do. As far as if you need to add anything. And you can take a pinky dip and see if you think it needs anything. Definitely vinegar forward, but definitely pretty olive oily too. I think it needs more pepper. Just a couple. And I might just put a little bit of kosher salt in here. It actually was more than a little bit. That was probably a quarter of a teaspoon. Okay, we'll use a spoon. Perfect. Wow, the vinegar got me. I'll put the date on here with a piece of tape and paper. I'm going to cover this beautiful salad with some plastic wrap, or this is probably a little more PC because you don't use any plastic wrap, or I might just put it right in the fridge as is because I'm going to eat it in a couple hours. And I'm literally going to eat this in a couple hours. I don't know if I'm going to have any chicken with it, but we'll see. Okay? Please make this. Drop me a comment. Let me know what kind of vinaigrettes that you like to make at home, or if what's your favorite salad. And let me know if you do make this salad if you like it. Okay? Wherever you're at, whatever day it is, day or night, I hope you're having a very blessed, a very beautiful day or a beautiful evening. And I'm so happy that you are here and have taken time to see me and listen to me. And if you could hit the like button, I think that's the little thumb that goes up. If you could hit subscribe, then you'll always know. And if you tap the bell, it'll give you a notification when I do upload videos. Otherwise, I upload something every Sunday. And I will see you next Sunday, next time. All right? Bye.